We're at Go West 23. It is great to be back after a few years off, but we're here talking to great people who are a lot of fun, like Joelle Tripp here. Hello.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm so good.
Excellent. We're kind of winding things down a little bit here. I don't know when people are going to actually, download these podcasts, but I'm a little tired. The energy at this event is amazing, isn't it?
Yes. Us young bucks can really tire you old fogies
Well, you
out.
have done it. Congratulations. Hey, Joelle, tell everybody about your company and what you do.
So my name's Joelle Tripp, and I own Joy by Joelle. We are a wedding and event planning firm. We also dabble in a little bit of the design aspects in both weddings and events. And we are incorporated in 2015 and been in it for about 8 years now.
I was just going to ask how long you've been doing this, but you already answered what I was going to ask.
Bing, bang, boom.
But nonetheless, when did you decide to do this?
Oh, when?
Yeah, like honestly, like some people saw themselves doing this a long time ago, but never got around to doing it.
Well, it's not. I always say it's such a long story, but for me.
Hang on a second.
Okay.
Do we have time for a long story? Yeah, we're good. Carry on.
You're going to be so tired. Okay, so there's this thing called like being OCD. You know a thing or two about that?
Yep.
So that's very much a part of who I am.
Okay.
The OCD,
which is good for your position.
Is very helpful in my industry.
Yeah.
So I born and raised in Camrose, grew up on the farm. I went to U of A, got my business degree, and I kind of wanted to be either like a cake designer or, some type of business owner, was trying to sort it out. And what I was started to notice is I would attend, concerts or conferences or literally anything. And I wasn't necessarily paying attention to what was on stage or acting in front of me,
right? But
really paying attention to the behind the scenes. And, why is that guy standing there? Oh, he just cued that guy across the... Oh, so
I see. I know
so
where you're going here.
Right? Okay, yeah. So I'm starting to pay attention to the environment versus the stage. And so... for the other aspects, so that would be like the event portion of me.
Okay.
And then there's the wedding side of me that like I have one feeling, just one.
Okay.
And it like feels hard. So for me, I think, if there's any way for me to perpetuate even more love into this world, that's where I'm like, sign me up, right? So my grandparents were married for 62 or 63 years. I know, right?
Okay.
How they did it, I do not know.
Medals were handed out, I can assure you.
You get it.
You go, everybody.
You get one. Mom and Dad are still married. I'm blessed to have those types of, role models or healthy marriages in my life. And so when you look up to that and you see that type of love, it's like, that's kind of the good stuff. So when you mix the two together, you kind of get a wedding planner. Yes. Right? Yeah. So I worked with Big Valley Jamboree. I worked for a florist here in the city, and I kind of got, also with the Edmonton Marathon. So I did like a little bit of the sports, and I did the...
Did you say you worked with the marathon people and a florist people? So now I can use a really bad pun, run, florist, run.
Oh, you did not.
I just did that because you threw that out there. I am not going to take that one. Okay, sorry. Carry on, all right?
So did some work, kind of in all the little nooks and crannies or between the industries. And I think the one that just most resonated was the weddings. I think it's really cool to be able to work on such personal level with these people. And I say it very heavily, like one of the biggest days of their lives, right?
Correct.
So, yeah.
Okay, so now I just, this is a small veer away, but
okay. I
would have to, weddings to me just seem like they would have so many issues. Am I wording that correctly? Am I doing this well? Like I would think it's a very high maintenance gig. So you need to have tremendous patience.
Tremendous
patience. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it requires a lot of patience. It requires a lot of you in all different capacities.
Okay.
And I think being empathetic, because yes, this is a wedding, but unless you've experienced it as a bride or a groom,
right.
It's a very emotional experience, and it just is like this. It's almost a little bit. I don't want to say it's battery, but the legwork of the planning, and then the conundrums and the things that come up as far as the logistical nightmares or the family dynamics, the bullshit that comes up in that sense, then there's that dynamic, and it's just it really is exhausting for everybody. And so for people such as myself that get to jump in and be like, hey, you want your brain back? Hire me. I got you.
Yeah.
I'll be
your backup
guard or groom guard, whatever you want to call me.
Mother, father-in-law, guard, whatever. Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, it's pretty cool to be in that position for them, to gift them their experience back.
I think that's amazing stuff. Now, so you get involved with different organizers of different types of events. What do you take out of an event like this one?
Oh.
And by the way, I'm pointing to the sign which says Go West 23 that you can't see. Okay, just want to point that out. So what do you take out of an event like this? Because you're talking to people who do different stuff.
I think what do I take out of it right now? I mean, after the last 2 years, of which we will not speak of, just being able to see, hug, hi, how are you in person. I think that's been such a huge takeaway for all of us, and we're all so tired. We're going to walk away from these last 48 hours just like exhausted, but in all the best ways, right? So for me, I think the new, or seeing the old and making the new friends within the industry, because there's been so much change in our industry because of the pandemic. So that's been really cool to experience.
That's been a common thread through a lot of our interviews, is that people said, you know what, we didn't really shut down.
Yeah.
If anything, the pandemic gave us an opportunity to breathe a little bit. While it was a difficult time for a lot of people.
Yeah.
For us, it was an opportunity to reflect and to focus forward. Did you find that with your company?
I wouldn't say we slowed down. If anything, I think we actually geared up, because it sounds silly when I say it, but it's really not. But, the bullshit, I'll just call the cow black, the bullshit of the pandemic and having to maneuver through, is it 15? Is it 50? Is it 100? Is it indoor? Is it outdoor?
Yeah.
Like, what is it allowed? So just the clients were just beyond exhausted.
Right.
So now it's like, no, this is your problem to deal with. You figure it out and you go through and maneuver how we can bring this all together. Yeah, no pressure.
Yeah,
right?
None.
Now you want to
there's pressure enough as it is.
They're not excited. They're deflated. They're exhausted.
Yeah.
Their joy has been totally robbed.
Which is totally understandable.
Completely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was really interesting to deal with that type of client. Never dealt with that before, right? Where they're just, tires are completely flat.
Yeah, exactly.
So having to re-inspire, re-excite, get that going. That was a whole other aspect of the job that we didn't quite anticipate, was, the being the girl with the foam finger hype in the corner, or the cheerleader, or this, that, the next thing. So, yeah. So
when you come into an event like this, like I've been saying now right through every interview, the energy level is like off the charts here. I'm tired.
I'm sitting here with my fist clenched because I'm
You're
like,
gonna have a good time. You're gonna enjoy this interview. The energy level is quite intense, but what I have, and I loved it, but I've learned a lot. How much do you learn from an event like this, where you get a chance to talk to other people who do different things? Like you pick
so much.
I know you get bits and pieces, and sometimes when you least expect it.
Totally, and I think we all come here looking for that golden nugget.
Yep.
Or golden nuggets.
Yep.
So I mean, it's just the power of connection right now. Like, I think that's literally what we're all taking away as the number one takeaway. But I think for me, yes, the human connection, but it's also the shared experience, I think, of, the things that we're all dealing with as an industry, because we actually don't get to connect, which is really interesting, because we're all event planners.
Exactly.
There's no crossover.
I know.
Right? Unless we're, an AV with the florist, right? There would be crossover in that sense. But so it's very seldom that we actually get to be in the same space talking about our job, because we don't on a daily. Like, that's not something you would see, right?
You were the first one, or not the first one, but the last one of these.
Yeah.
What differences have you noticed over the last 2.5 to 3 years here? Because I know that you've seen it from a company perspective, but everybody says that they've noticed that they haven't felt any dampened enthusiasm.
Oh, no. Oh, right? I think that... Did you mention you were tired? Is that not
I will sleep tonight. Let me put it to you that way.
Exactly. That's just it. Like, I think it's just the enthusiasm to be together. Yeah, it sounds like a broken record in some senses, but the connection, that's just literally what we're here for, to walk away with the golden nugget, to see the people from, the emails that we've connected with that we haven't necessarily had the opportunity to put a face to a name, or, the email signature. It's like, oh my God, how are you? So great to see you in the flesh.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Can I give you a hug? Because we haven't had a chance to do that.
Are you asking me?
Well, maybe after the show. Now, before we let you roll here, is there anything that you want to get out there? Like, what are you working on in this year coming up? Like, what's happening?
What's happening with Joy by Joelle? Well, we're trying to figure out this weird phase of boundaries, trying to not repeat what was done in 2022. Not that we didn't love 2022 and all the clients that we had in 2022, but just it's that word, that balance, the harmony, the more boundaries, the being able to work-life balance, whatever that is. I don't know. It's that proverbial thing that everybody talks about. So we're trying to figure out how to balance all of that, but still do lots and really meaningful events and weddings and all that kind of stuff. So we've got lots on the go for the summer. The summer's booking up pretty quick. We're booking into 2025, which is absurd.
Wow.
You're not absurd. It's just hard. Yeah. If you want to schedule a coffee, I can schedule it to 2025.
Okay.
How you like that?
Very nice. I'm very impressed. Yeah, that's impressive. Okay. How do people get a hold of you?
You can reach me on social media. I'm on every social media platform.
What's the big one for you?
Joy by Joelle. I would say I'm most involved, on Instagram. Trying to get into the talk. Are you into the talk?
No. Or the tick.
Up.
I haven't done either the tick or the talk. In fact, it took me a while to get to the linked and to the in. So, but I'm there. That's where you can track me down.
I'm so proud of you right now.
Thanks very much.
It's big strides you're taking.
Thanks very much. I've got to go get a coffee. Thanks for your time today. This has been great.
Thanks so much for having me.
All right, great. Super.
Cheers.
All right.